So that's how the side is coming along. It's finally dry. I went ahead and filled the seam on the rear. But I'm gonna start disassembling the camper so we can get ready to move it outside to reassemble it and get ready to do the finishing touches on it. Okay, I would like to point out one thing in the build again. As opposed to using these, the drywall insulation washers, I do suggest using the plastic cap nails. Just removing the nails and using the cap. You're gonna have a better fit. You can use the 1-inch hole drill to make your little indentions where this will fit right into it, fit flush, and then you can cover it with the mud and make it a smoother finish. So, and you will be able to get a box of these for what it would take to get about three packs of these. I believe I've used so far 3 to 4 packs of these. One box of these will cover the whole job and save you a whole lot of money, and I think you'll have a better finish. I will be going over these at another point in the video, but once again, buy these plastic cap nails as opposed to the washers. Now, as you see, that Gorilla heavy duty construction adhesive is not good for these. There's been too many already that I've had to tape over because it's not holding them in place. I've already flipped it over, but before I get too much further into this, I wanted to share with you a couple things. I've already took the storage compartments off, and I have the bottom loose. and this is the 1-inch bit. I'm gonna go ahead and wring all of these out just a little, because I do, this one has a nail in it, but you would remove the nail. I like the way that sits. I'm gonna glue that in place, put the screw in there, and then I'll be able to come back and put some mud over this and flatten it out, so I got a clean, finished, smooth surface. I like the way that fits in there, and like I say, the finish I will get from it. So one key thing to mention is, do not use these washers, the drywall insulation washers. And as you see, it's hard enough for them to stay in place. This here, that Gorilla heavy duty construction adhesive, the white, it does not bond to this material to my satisfaction. I will, if it's just Gorilla glue in these, then I'll take my options, Gorilla glue it, screw it, or even great stuff it and screw it. But my advice is not to use these washers. Go ahead and pick your box of these, and you're going to have way more of these for the project than it will take ordering these. I think, like I said, there's 75 in a pack, and I might be at 3 packs, possibly 4, but I'm going to lean on 3. So do not get this SPX, SPAX, the plastic grip CI prong insulation washers for drywall. I've decided not to because I want a smooth finish, and just to take that extra step to drill these, put the caps in them, glue them down, mud it, and that's the process I'm gonna go with. Just wanted to share that with you. So keep that in mind if you do the swag build. Basically, it's just like I'm gonna put the camper together in the same manner that I did the cabinets. Once again, I do not recommend the use of these washers. I do not recommend the use of these washers. Although they're bigger, it will give you more surface space, but you're going to have to accommodate for the rise that it's going to give under the canvas and figure out something to put over. I was going to put a little runner over it to cover them up, but what I decided to do was to use, I do prefer using the plastic caps, plastic cap nails for roofing. As I take these apart, you will see just how easy these pop out of place, even using the Gorilla heavy duty construction adhesive. It doesn't give me a bond to my satisfaction, but for the most part, I do not like it, and I do not suggest it. So I will be removing these, repurposing them, and using the caps in place of these instead. Okay, I want to point out when setting these holes, you do not have to go deep because as you see, the anchor is going to pull that screw right on in. So just scar it enough to mark your spot and let the anchor do the work on pulling it down, but scar it enough to about as deep as that is. You don't want to go any deeper than the little notch right there, because as you see on each one, the anchor did do the job in pulling the screw right on in, especially that one, to pull that one in really deep. But we're going to fill that with putty and just take it from there. These spots that are missing, I will put pieces on those, seal those in place, but I'm not worried about that until this sit and dry. Guess I'm going to put some great stuff down in some of the gaps and let that dry so we can get ready to mud them. Come back and take the palm sander and just shoot over there real quick. Now I have this one here already set, and the washers, the swag is already set up on it. I'm gonna let that dry, so I want to at least catch this one here while we get it swagged. And film a bit of the process. And just to point out, you really only want to go is just probably a little deeper than that outer rim, because once you screw it in, the force is gonna pull it on down pretty much so flush to where you need it. So you don't want to go too far and have it countersinked in too far into the foam. I do suggest you doing it by hand, because a power tool will probably just zip it right on through and you're deeper than what you want before you know it. So now I'm going to switch over to the Loctite PL300 foam board. Doing it to the top edge, so when I slide it down, it will squeeze it on down between the foam. What I also like to do at this point is just take and push that over the hole and squirt a little bit down into the hole as well. Okay, now what I'm going to do at this point is just take some great stuff and squirt down around the seams because I want to have the most strongest bond possible. And this here is going to be what fills in the small gaps and whatnot. So we'll let these two sit and dry, and we'll come back, at least smooth the grape foam down. I would say you only really need to focus on the areas that you want to basically smooth out, make flush, because everywhere else is going to be sanded pretty much. So it will fill in the cracks and creases, but it's just going to, once you sand it, it's going to take it and smooth it on out anyway. So just focus on whatever areas you need to. If you got any little dents and dings in it, I would take and cover those. As far as using the mud, like I said, if you want to have it smoother surface, then use it. But if it's going to be fine the way it is, um, like I said, just mainly focus on the areas, but mainly just focus on the areas that will need um, attention paid to, basically. As far as using the sander, I would go ahead and put a light sanding over the whole foam material because that's going to take away that little sheen, and it's going to give you like that a matted finish at, where you're going to have the bonding agent stick better to the foam than having that little sheen over it. So I would suggest just taking a little sander and just going over the foam real quick to give you a take away that shine, to give you a better bonding surface. So we have both sides mudded, and we're ready to smooth out this here piece. And I found it was best to once you put your adhesive, once you put this in place on your seams, you're going to want to take and get one of these and go ahead and just smooth it out. That way you won't have to come back and cut the little rough pieces off. Once you get a couple of them lined up, kind of makes it easy for the rest of them to go into place. I kind of like to get the ends and the middle section lined up. And as you pull them together, as you screw them together, you will see the putty starting to ooze out. As you see, they're in place, and where the swag comes into place, you see how as you screw the screws in, as you anchor them down, how it eases the adhesive out of the seam. So that's also letting you know it's pulling the pieces together tightly. So from here, we're going to smooth it out and then fill it in the gaps with some great stuff. Just let this dry, trim it up. We're getting closer to moving outside to assemble. Be generous with the mud, with the fill, because that does add weight. Basically, I'm just trying to get it in between most of the remaining little cracks and grooves, because once you sand it down, you're going to take a whole lot more of it right back off. So you're not really trying to build areas up. I'm just trying to smooth them down for the most part.